He slowly opened his eyes. Suddenly, he realized he was bound by chains. Frightened, he looked around, unable to understand anything. He wondered how he had woken up in such a strange situation. Confused, he murmured to himself, saying he should be in the classroom. But in front of him appeared a girl holding a candle. He recognized her. He called her name in shock. It was Noroizaki, his classmate. His heart raced. He thought about the rumors he had heard about her. He wondered if they could be true. They said Noroizaki studied curses and that she captured people she hated to offer them as sacrifices. Her gaze was cold. He shivered, trying to move away. She only smiled in a frightening way, her eyes shining with a dark expression. Desperate, he shouted, begging her to wait. He wanted to know if he had done anything against her. He said they only sat next to each other in class. The chains rattled as he begged for an answer. In despair, he shouted that he had even lent her his eraser. He wondered why he was in that situation. Terrified, he let out a loud scream. His heart pounded and his body trembled. She slowly approached and extended her hand. He hesitated but looked at the gesture with fear. Suddenly, he noticed something in her palm. It was the eraser he had lent her. But it was strangely wrapped as if it were an amulet. He thought it looked cursed. He commented to himself that her taste was truly unique. In a low voice, she thanked him. She said she was glad he had lent it to her. He answered nervously but smiled, saying it was no problem. Surprised, he thought they could communicate better than he expected. But he still wondered why he was chained. She replied that it was because she felt embarrassed. She confessed she didn't have the courage to talk to boys in class. He was shocked by the simple reason. He found it scary but tried to understand. She said maybe she should have spoken directly into his mind. He sweated nervously. He thought he had to be careful not to provoke her further. He said forgetting things was normal. He mentioned that he also forgot his eraser many times. He looked terrified when she suddenly raised her hand. A metallic sound echoed, making his body shudder. In front of him, she was holding strange papers and a hammer. Her gaze shone in the dark, surrounded by a sinister aura. He tried to break free, terrified. He called her name in despair, begging her to wait. Afraid, he asked if she was really going to turn him into a sacrifice. She denied it in a calm voice. She said she would never do such a thing. But then she placed a paper in front of him. She called it a lucky charm. She said it would help him not forget things anymore. He didn't understand anything. His heart beat faster. She blushed slightly and revealed the reason. She said she only wanted him to lend her his eraser again. He was speechless, unable to believe what he was hearing. Desperate, he begged her to use that charm on herself. But she ignored him and continued the ritual. Soon he was completely bound, covered in talismans. She said he was now protected. She explained she had also placed a spell for health and for good sleep. He tried to scream, but he was gagged. Her eyes softened. She said she would see him the next day at school. That night, he ended up sleeping deeply, and, strangely, he didn't forget anything the next day.
Later, he tried to free himself again. Suddenly, he realized that scene felt strangely familiar. Noroizaki appeared before him once more, carrying a candle. He asked why she was doing that to him. He wanted to understand the reason for being chained again. Blushing, she confessed that talking to boys in class was too embarrassing, but she revealed that she wanted to talk to him. His heart wavered at the unexpected confession. Even so, he didn't understand why she had to take things this far. He tried to argue. He said they already greeted each other normally, and there was no need to go to such extremes. He insisted, reminding her that he even helped her with homework. She replied that it was exactly why she wanted to reward him. A strange smile appeared on her face. Holding a stick, she announced she needed to give him a special thank you. His face went pale. He wondered if she had found out that he taught her the wrong answer. He imagined that this might be his end. Desperate, he began to beg for forgiveness. He pleaded with her not to do anything to him. The chains rattled with his agitation. Suddenly, she lifted something unexpected, a huge fresh fish bought from the market. He screamed in shock, unable to understand what was happening. She said naturally that it was just fresh ingredients for cooking. She smiled strangely as she held a knife. She said she could cook and would make a delicious cake out of fresh fish. He was stunned. He couldn't believe what he was hearing and asked if she really meant raw fish. She confirmed it, casually. She even promised to prepare cookies made with fish. He insisted he didn't need any kind of reward. He trembled, begging her to do anything else. She turned toward him, her eyes wide and intense. She ordered him to be quiet and wait calmly. She began to prepare the ingredients with steady hands. The strong smell of fresh fish filled the room. Bound, he watched her closely. He noticed that even her apron looked cute. He thought to himself that maybe this was the first time he would eat something made by a girl. His heart beat faster, and he wondered why he felt happy about it. Suddenly, she announced it was ready. With frightening speed, she presented a bizarre dish. She called it special cookies made by Noroitsaki. His eyes widened. In front of him was a grotesque dough with chunks of fish and even a visible eye. She smiled, offering it to him to taste. His body trembled. He thought he would never want to eat that, but remembering her effort, he swallowed hard. He decided he had no choice. He bit into a piece, forcing a nervous smile. He chewed the strange cookie, bracing for the worst. But to his surprise, the taste was good. His eyes widened in disbelief. Against all expectations, he found it delicious. He praised Noroitsaki, saying out loud that it tasted great. She averted her gaze, embarrassed but happy. She confessed that she had practiced a lot just so he could eat it. She said she worked hard because she wanted him to really taste it. He felt awkward, unsure of how to react. Suddenly, she brought out even more dishes. The amount of food grew, and he began to panic. While cooking, she quietly recalled how she had practiced for days. She said she did everything while thinking of him, repeating charms and putting her heart into every detail. Still tied, he watched the scene and couldn't bring himself to refuse. In the end, he said he would eat it all. She smiled brightly, satisfied to see him eat. With every bite, his heart raced even more, and he thought that despite the fear, there was something different about that moment.